What's up, guys? Welcome back to our player profile series. Today I am here with Slice, and before we get into it, just want to do a some quick housekeeping stuff. I just want to thank everyone who's watching. If you guys tuned in and supported Hidden Temple, that tournament was awesome. We raised a lot of money, and the community really came together. And then two, if you check down in the description, among the other things I'm going to put down there, I'm going to put my Discord name, because what I'm doing is next month is the 6-month anniversary of the release of this game of NASB. And so I want to make a community clips montage. I want to get as many clips from everyone across the whole community as I can, and just put together a big community montage for everyone to kind of celebrate playing for 6 months. So I'll put my Discord name down in the description. Certainly DM me any clips, or if they're on Twitter, you can send me the link to those clips and stuff down there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for housekeeping. So Slice, welcome. Thank you for joining. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell me about yourself, and then after you get into that, tell me about your competitive gaming background, and just kind of stuff of that nature.
Yeah, so my name's Slice. Used to go by Slice and Dice, but feel free to call me Slice. I am 16. Been playing competitive fighting games since I was like 12. I've been in the year for a while. I started playing NASB on launch. I was really looking forward to it and having a great time with it. But yeah, my origins in esports would be my first, I guess you could say, a home or first game that I really took competitively was Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament DX, to be precise. I played that game for around 4 years. I was one of the best players in the world, arguably the best player in the world at one point in time. Bounced around with things like Brawlhalla, took Brawlhalla seriously, Rivals of Aether, and then Nickelodeon came out. Really enjoyed it, made a lot of really good friends, and became one of the best players in the world. So yeah, love this game. It's great.
That's really cool. I actually, I was looking at your Smash GG, and I noticed that you had, Brawlhalla, Pokken, and Teppen on there. I didn't know just how deep your roots in in Pokken went. Yeah, so how do you go from Pokken Tournament to NASB? I mean, obviously, you had Brawlhalla, which was another platform fighter, but kind of explain, how you go from being a top level Pokken player to playing NASB at also such a high level.
Let me grab something here. Alright, basically, there's this thing that I use across all games, except Street Fighter. I play a lot of Street Fighter as well. I get made fun of it quite a bit, but basically, for all games, Pokken, Brawlhalla, Rivals, Nickelodeon, for all those games, I use the same controller. So this is a Pokken controller. It's the Pokken pad. I've used it ever since Pokken came out, and I've just carried on using it for every game past that, which just makes it a little bit more simple. I get made fun of it sometimes, but it makes it a lot more simple. So that helps, but I've also, before I played Pokken, well, I was still playing Pokken, but before I was like a massive player, I played a lot of Smash 4. I was like super into Smash 4 for years, so I was very familiar with platform fighters, and then I just carried on playing platform fighters from like Brawlhalla, Rivals, not to now Nickelodeon, as I was saying. Really looking forward to Multiverses coming out in a few months. Or years, I don't freaking know when that is. But yeah, so the transition wasn't very difficult. Definitely for the so NASB came out in 2021. Pretty much the entire year of 2021 before the game came out, I was like exclusively playing Brawlhalla. I took like a pretty long break from Pokken at the time. So I was on like a super hard Brawlhalla grind, which made the switch to NASB like very, very, very easy. And I picked it up really quickly, found a character I really liked. I went crazy. So it panned out pretty well.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the controller thing is actually really cool, because one of the cool parts about Hidden Temple was we saw just how many different controllers people use.
Crazy. Yeah.
Like, was it Sanji? Somebody had like basically a Sega Genesis gamepad there. I
I don't
was.
know. But I know Calvin was using a fight stick. I have a fight stick and a hitbox right here, so I mess around with them when I'm having fun with Nickelodeon or Street Fighter. But Bodhi also uses a pretty weird controller, so I have two. I just put one on the ground. But here's another one. So his is very similar to mine, except he has three rows of buttons on the diagonal here. So he has six buttons here instead of I have four. So our controllers are very similar, but they're pretty weird. So yeah, a lot of different controllers that were used at that tournament, and it was really fun to watch too. So that was great.
Yeah, I had a blast watching, and
That's
everything
great.
for that tournament went really well. And like, people
Oh,
play on keyboard, people play on fight stick,
wow, it
GameCube
was Squibble.
controller, uh,
Yeah.
you know, uh, whatever Bodhi D's. I think it's some kind of PlayStation controller. So if you're
Yeah.
looking to get into this game, you can pretty much almost use any controller, which is definitely a big positive.
Oh yeah.
Um, so what brought you into Nickelodeon? What attracted you to the game initially?
So I'm always excited when I see new fighting games popping up, especially platform fighters, because I have like years of experience with them. And I generally pick them up pretty quickly. Um, but there was a few things. One, I saw that a lot of my friends were getting into it, and they were very hyped for it. A lot of content creators that I really liked, like HBox, for example, was constantly making videos about it, hyping it up. A bunch of different Smash players were hyping it up. I've always kept up with the Smash scene for since like 2012. Um, so it just looked like a really good game. I thought I was gonna really enjoy it. I didn't think I was gonna like take it all the way. I thought it would just be like a fun like side gig. It'd be a fun game until I started playing Nigel and realized that it like perfectly fits my playstyle. Um, and it went very, very, very well. So yeah, that pretty much happened, and it was great.
Yeah, I was actually, it was going to be the next question is how did you end up picking Nigel as a main? Like, what other kinds of characters did you play in Brawlhalla or Smash 4? And do you think that they're similar or they're different to the way that you play Nigel?
Yeah, so the best way that I go about describing my playstyle is technical but rewarding and very fast paced. So in Pokken, I play by far the fastest paced character in the game. His name's Pikachu Libre. I was like best player in the world at some point playing this character, and he's very, very, very fast paced. In Brawlhalla, I play a character called Jiro. He's an extremely fast character, very technical, very rewarding, and I would say that's my play style. But I also like to have like really good movement, really good evasive options, really good recovery, really good combos. Nigel pretty much fits that perfectly. And on top of that, he has a bunch of moves and mechanics and game plans, game plans that I didn't even know were possible. Like his down air, I fell in love with that move immediately. That move for his neutral is nuts, and I just loved it ever since I started playing the game. And it just really fitted my playstyle. And on top of that, as I said earlier, I've been a really big fan of Hungry Bucks for a while. He also had an interest in Nigel, so I thought that was cool. And we're actually pretty good friends now. So yeah, picking Nigel was it was definitely a good and easy choice for me to make.
So I want to ask you something because this is actually the first time we're having a second person on the program who made the same character. So like my last episode, I talked
Yeah.
to Waldo, and
Mm,
he gave me a little bit of insight into Slice, and he said Slice is, and I quote, a lab rat. So
that's true.
I want to hear, about your process, how it works in your mind with the labbing, and obviously, would that be the way you say you improve the most is through the lab and practice for tournaments and stuff? Just I want to hear so much about Slice's labbing process.
Yeah, so okay, there's a few things here. So something that I've just done in like all games, Pokken was the main one where it started, but I like if it's not knowing like a crazy amount about like all the characters, being very able to play like a very wide set of characters. In Pokken, that pretty much just allows me to counterpick like anyone. Same thing in Brawlhalla. Whereas in this game, there's some characters that I just really doesn't fit my playstyle at all. Like you will never ever see me pick Toph in tournament. It's just not gonna happen. And
Don't
a few
blame you.
others. There's a few others that just don't fit my playstyle at all. But I definitely have a lot of like pocket characters because of labbing, just finding things that I really liked. I play a lot of Lincoln. Recently, I've put a ridiculous amount of time into Patrick. I'm really, really, really liking Patrick. Putting a lot of time into him. And a bunch of other characters that I have been playing, like Cat Dog and Stimpy. But basically, my labbing habits, it's pretty much just to find things that are consistent and reliable. So, like, some people will find, like, certain setups that work under, like, very specific conditions. You've probably seen this countless times. Like, look at this insane combo! It's so game-breaking if your opponent does this, 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 and this. Like, okay, if they DI in, like, 16 times, then sure, you'll get an insane combo. Whereas I try to find things that work in game consistently. For example, this is actually a really good example. Nigel's main kill confirm in the first like 2 months, I'd say 1.5 month of the game, was he would grab you and then he would jump in the air, Z drop you, and then he'd flick you. It was a really, really, really consistent kill confirm. Think of it like the PTM Z drop Shine, except it just killed you like 120. And it was a really, really, really good kill confirm. Really reliable. Until around 2 months in, they changed it. They actually, in the patch notes, only said that Flick got stronger and Uppy was now jump cancelable on hit. That was supposed to be all they did. But they did a shadow change or a shadow nerf to Flick, which made the hitbox significantly smaller. Which basically meant that the Z-drop Flick didn't work anymore. So we had to come up with something new. So I decided to lab this character for hours, and I found that if you do a jump down throw, it can combo straight into dash attack, which combos into down strong, which is now Nigel's main kill confirm. That whereas the Z drop Flick killed at 120, this kills at like 90 now, and it's now like the new bread and butter pretty much to kill with Nigel. I'm sure if somebody were to try to watch my like tournament sets or whatever, you'd probably see me doing this on HBox's stream, VODs, PX, Nick, all these different tournaments. I do this a lot. But yeah, that was just like an example of, okay, this doesn't work anymore. Time to go crazy lab mode to find something else, or find something new, or even better in this case. But yeah, I just get really curious on what like characters' potentials are. There's an kind of like an inside joke in the community where there's labbing, but then there's husky labbing. See, I like to find things that are practical and really nice and make characters better, whereas husky tries to break the game. He actually tries to find things that will competitively destroy the game. And he has done so several times. He found the Mikey combo, the Mikey Infinite that got banned at SmashCon. He found RTC, reaction tech chasing, Lucy camping at the ledge, just going for stuff. So, pretty much, I just try to find things that are really practical that I can actually use in games. And I spend a lot of time doing so, which is probably where Waldo got the lab rat from, because I tend to show off a lot of like new things that Nigel can do and try to get other Nigels to do the same. So yeah, I just enjoy labbing and finding new things to optimize my characters.
It's funny because he mentioned specifically that combo you just talked about. He said, Slice will find things.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I trust you. Yeah.
He said Slice will find things that I would never have even thought to do in a million years, and he just mentioned a combo that you just mentioned.
He actually talked about that? I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Oh, that's good.
It's cool though, because Waldo mentioned that a lot of his learning is kind of on the fly, like in game, and so it's cool to see that even though you guys play the same exact character, you bringing a different mindset to that preparation. Just one more question about the labbing before we move on. Do you just go in? Do you find it's better to go into labbing with kind of like an idea of, okay, I think this thing might work, let me try it, or just messing around and being like, oh, that worked. Let's try to see if it's consistent. What's kind of like your mode when you go into labbing?
Uh, that's an interesting question. I don't really know. I kind of just try to. I'm like, okay, this hits like very frequently, right? So what can I do out of this to like I don't know get the most reward? For example, the same exact thing pretty much with happened with Patrick when I started picking up Patrick like a week ago. Um, I was like, Patrick, it's pretty hard to land dash attack, but what is something that you land pretty often? Well, you land a grab. Well, with Patrick, if you grab somebody, it's supposed to be a 50-50 where you just forward throw left or right and the opponent has to guess, and if they DI wrong, they die. Which is pretty good, but then top players are like, wait, if I just don't DI at all and I just let go, it doesn't matter which direction they throw me, they don't get any follow-ups. So I'm like, if I land a grab very frequently, what can I do out of a grab to like optimize it? What's the best thing I can do? And I was like, okay, well, Nigel does jump down, throw dash attack into something. Let's see if Patrick can do the same. Turns out, yes, he can. And turns out now, if Patrick grabs you at 80%, he can jump down, throw dash attack, up smash, and you die at 80. Which is nuts. But yeah, I would also say something that's very important. Maybe not in NASB as much, but if you're looking into like, how do I lab? How do I lab? I'm labbing these combos, but I'm not getting them in real game. It's a lot of people say this, but it's much more important to figure out how to land the initial move than what to do afterwards. Because if you're only labbing what to do, like, I don't know, after a up throw, let's say, on whatever character, execute that, but you might not be able to hit the grab into up throw as much as if you were to figure out, okay, what positions does my opponent get hit by this? Or what move can I do on shield before grabbing? Or might be matchup dependent, I don't know. But it's very important to figure out, okay, how do I land this move in the first place other than, okay, what do I do afterwards? So I feel like that's something a lot of people lack in their labbing. But yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And I have a personal like relation to that because I started this game as a Lucy main, and back when wave sliming was a thing, I would lab wave sliming, just practice getting the wave slime.
Oh, yes.
But then when I got into game, I was never hitting the dash attack.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
So I was like, okay, I know how to do this, but it's completely pointless because this guy's reading me like a book,
Exactly. Okay, well, I know how to do this combo, and I really need to hit the dash attack, but he's just jumping over. What am I supposed to do? But
Yeah.
you didn't have like a backup plan, or you didn't know what to do otherwise.
Yeah, so I can personally relate to that, and I think that's really good advice for anybody looking to up their labbing game. So we'll switch to talking about the current meta of the game of NASB. How do you feel Nigel does in the current meta?
So, oh god, I don't even know what to say. I do, but it's weird because basically, I don't really like NASB competitively right now. I feel like NASB competitively is not in a very good place. I am gonna start entering tournaments again soon, but I haven't actually entered a Nickelodeon tournament since December 15th, which was the day of the Hungry Box Invitational Final, which I got invited to. But I still play friendlies like all the time, but competitively, I just really don't like where the game is at. Um, Mainly just because of all like the stupid passive gimmicks that you can just play, hang out at ledge, play SpongeBob, play Aang, play April, and just run away from your opponent. RTC, I really just don't like the meta, but Nigel, I feel like does really well. I feel like Nigel is around top 5. I do have very hot takes across like all games that I play. It's a joke with my friends where my takes in video games are completely null and void because they're so weird. But from personal experience, playing against the best players in the world very frequently, pretty much on a daily, I was helping all of the top players train for Hidden Temple. I was trying to get as many games in as they needed to feel ready against Nigel matchup because a few Nigels were going. Um, I was doing pretty well. I think Nigel's really, really, really cheap. I feel like he loses to Sponge, Aang, maybe Lincoln, and maybe April. Other than those four, he goes even with or beats like everybody else. Very few characters can beat his neutral game because he has such active hitboxes. And the thing that I feel like a lot of Nigels need to work on, at least for me, something that was, and I could even say this myself, something that was incredibly terrifying about playing against people like me or even Waldo at this point a while back was that Nigel's neutral is so crazy, but it's so terrifying because if you get hit by a down air, an up air, a down tilt, an up tilt, you can just die. You can just die for getting hit by these ridiculous neutral tools. And if your execution is good, that is terrifying. So Nigel just outright beats a bunch of characters in the neutral game. I feel like another reason why he does really well is that the general consensus is that in the community is that Nigel has like bar none the best recovery in the game, and a lot of characters like Lucy, Sponge, Lincoln, probably a bunch of others, Sandy, bunch of top tiers, April, really revolve around getting like offstage gimps at low percents, and Nigel just says no. I have neutral B. It gets me out for free. I have down air. You're not edge guarding me. So while Nigel does really well offstage neutral, killing, his only really weakness is that he's big, so he gets comboed sometimes. But like the thing is, right, like yes, he can get true comboed really easily. But if the opponent leaves like little gaps, like SpongeBob combos are almost never true. It's just that they'll take your jump and then you have to eat like hit after hit after hit. Whereas Nigel, if you have like mini cracks in your combo game, or maybe a combo isn't exactly true, he can just use neutral B and he's out of there. So although he's huge, his disadvantage is actually like really, really good. So yeah, I think Nigel's really crazy in the meta right now. I'm definitely, although I said previously I'm playing a lot of Patrick, I am still playing a lot of Nigel. Whenever people ask for it, which is pretty common, because they're like, "Yo, you're the best Nigel. I want some Nigel practice." But yeah, Nigel's in a really good spot, and there's a bunch of up and coming Nigels. Like even Waldo's an up and coming Nigel right now. I feel like he hasn't gotten to prove himself on like the larger scales. Like the bigger tournaments, I don't think he's been able to go to offline tournaments, but bigger tournaments like the Hungry Box one, big ones with big pots. I don't think he's done too well, but Waldo's a really strong player. Be on the lookout. Pug X, that's another really good player on the come up. Plays Nigel. Jut, I would even say Jut. Offline, Jut's probably the Nigel you're gonna see offline. He's pretty good, and a few others. But yeah, Nigel's really good. So don't count that with that character. He's crazy.
So I do want to ask, because you said you weren't really a big fan of the current meta of NASB, which is a sentiment that I think a lot of people do share. I think right now the general consensus is that this patch is significantly better than last patch, but there's also things that still need to be addressed in the future patches. So I guess, my question would be, what are some things that you do hope to see as far as meta changes or game mechanic changes and stuff down the line?
Yeah, I want to add one more thing to that though. It's that main thing for me and why I haven't been entering tournaments recently is because after the Hungry Bucks tournament, which was around December 15th, pretty much all of the top players that were in that tournament took like a massive hiatus from the game until like oh my god, I can't speak, until late January, because the tournament, like the top four for the tournament, pretty much what everybody got eliminated by was just RTC. That was it. It's reaction tech chasing. Pretty much, if you got knocked down once, pretty much what happened in the entire tournament for top 8, this happened to me several times. If you got hit by SpongeBob or Aang and you got knocked down, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's it. You're dead. It was incredibly automatic, ridiculously easy and consistent. And because of RTC, it kind of just ruined a lot of the top players' passion for the game for at least a while. And a lot of them went on huge hiatuses until Hidden Temple got announced. And then they're like, okay, time to start grinding again. Whereas the same thing would have happened for me because I got invited as well. But I couldn't go because I'm in Canada, it's in the US, COVID, wasn't able to make it. And because of that, I just didn't have the motivation to grind. I was still helping all these players, but I didn't have the motivation to enter all these tournaments to prepare for Hidden Temple like all these other top players had. Um, so yeah, that was definitely the main reason why I'm not entering tournaments right now. But when it comes to what you just said with what I'm hoping for the future of NASB and balance changes mechanics, um, it's pretty. I really don't know, because I feel like the game right now is in a really good spot with a few issues, but those few issues are like very exploitable. Um, I don't know. It's weird because there's certain things that just shouldn't exist, right? Like, and that's what makes the meta toxic. Like, PTM's lick
Yeah.
shouldn't exist. April's downstrong being +8 on shield, that shouldn't exist. SpongeBob having damn near everything, that shouldn't exist. Shredder, the hell were they thinking? What? Bro, this character mashes 2 moves
Yeah.
and wins.
Wins neutral for free.
What were they thinking? Literally those, like, was that 3 or 4 characters? I don't know. Those 3 main characters, April, Sponge, PTM, Shredders. That's 4 characters. Those are literally the only characters you will see topping at big tournaments. That's it. Those 4 characters are incredibly annoying and, like, not fun to play against or watch. Well, sometimes it's fun to watch, but playing against them is like not fun at all because they're incredibly cheap and just a league above all these other characters. Um, Sometimes, like as you saw in Hidden Temple, Blazing Pasta, he plays Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy's really, really, really good, but he's not in the same tier as April, PTM, SpongeBob, and Shredder. But almost every character just has something silly that they can abuse. Where Ren and Stimpy, it's the down air. He like Pasta had to brutally outplay everyone because his character, although he's cheap and could get some really dumb kills, he had to like brutally outplay everybody there at the tournament from his like extensive fighting game experience.
Yeah.
Because those characters are just so much better than Ren and Stimpy. So definitely tone down a lot of these characters. But when it comes to like, oh, then there's some characters that need buffs. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want Toph to get buffed. That would be really bad for the game. What else? I honestly don't think a bunch of low tiers need crazy buffs. Maybe like small things, but the general consensus is that Patrick is not very good. I think he's ridiculous. But if Patrick got buffed and like all these other top tiers were to get nerfed, Patrick would be nuts. Other bottom tiers like Reptar, I have no idea what they would change about Reptar. But to be honest, if they just nerf the characters that are so good, it would inherently make Reptar better. But yeah, I would just mainly say that like the 4 best characters in the game, like those 4 that I just mentioned, they need to be toned down. But the bottom tiers, I don't think they need crazy buffs. I just think they need like small things every here and there, or every now and then. It's not huge changes that they need.
Yeah, I think,
So.
a lot of people are definitely, even Tafar, I interviewed Tafar and he said Lick needs to be nerfed because
Oh, yeah.
he hates the fact that it's like so centralizing to PTM that it's the only thing you go for.
Like he's like that character is actually like nuts
Oh,
without
yeah.
the lick too.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have the lick, I don't know. Like you guys may watch like Muskie. Muskie's like tech skill is nuts. Like I'm literally playing against this guy and I'm joking around like, playing against Muskie feels like you're playing a tech demo. Like you're literally just nonstop seeing things that you've never seen before, and he's not even using like grab release shine flick or flick lick. Like he's not even doing the main PTM gimmick, and he's comboing you to hell and back. So even if PTM were to be nerfed, like even if the lick were to be nerfed, it would still be really good. It's just that's pushing it a little bit too far.
Yeah, it's. I think people understand that when there is something about a character that is so much better than the rest of their kit that you don't even use the rest of their kit, it's a problem. Like with
Yeah.
Lucy,
Oh
like
God.
when it comes to her kit, I think that
Vampire mode
like,
is so unique, but they just don't do it.
well, why? Yeah, exactly. Why would you try to get build up 100% to a coffin confirm when you can just dash
Exactly.
attack dare at 10%?
Exactly.
So I agree with you. I think some of these characters definitely need to be touched. Even as somebody that as an April secondary, strong dare being plus on shield, I think is pretty silly. Honestly, like
Plus
it's
eight.
free grab.
You literally use one down strong, it hits their block, you get a free up throw up strong, like that's like 60%. And then you can like fast fall it, get another regrab. Sometimes you can just kill out of you block, I telling you, sometimes you'll just block an April down strong at 0, get grabbed, and you'll die.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
no. That's not okay.
So I do want to ask. This is actually one of my favorite questions that I love to ask during these interviews. And for you, you can answer it kind of like in NASB and then just in general, since you have such an extensive background. What's been, you've placed pretty high at a lot of these big tournaments. You've been involved in a lot of these big tournaments. What's been your favorite memory, favorite moment? So, like I said, give me one that's outside of
No.
NASB, and one that's inside of NASB.
Oh God. Okay. So I actually have a really good one for both. So, oh, I feel bad now. But basically, in NASB, if you know me, or even if you just are in the community, you may know about this. But pretty much, early December, I think it was like, no, it was just before the tournament. It was like December 13th, I think. Me and Max Ketchum, who is a very popular Smash commentator, very good Nickelodeon player, and TO for Hidden Temple, Hungrybox decided that he wanted to have an exhibition on his stream, a first to five, and he wanted to get a really good Nigel, and he had heard that I was the best Nigel, so he was like, "All right, let's get this dude on stream," but he also wanted Max on stream, so he got me and Max to do a first to five exhibition on his stream in front of a few thousand people. Now I sent a clip to you on Discord
Yeah.
of this
Yeah,
set, so
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
probably roll it here at some point. But basically, I don't think HBox expected what was gonna happen because it was a very quick 5-0. Except the problem was HBox decided to say, you know what, guys? Let's make this a first to 10. Emergency first to 10. We want Max to get on the board. That didn't go very well. He got 10 0'd
Oh
in front of
no.
thousands of people. Twitter clips going everywhere. We were in VC after the 5-0. We all got back in VC, and then he told us that it was emergency first to five. And then after the 10-0, we were in VC again with HBox. Oh my god, it was so funny. I feel bad for bringing this up, but to be honest, it's just hilarious, and definitely, I don't know if I would say it's my proudest moment. To be honest, it probably is, because Max is a crazy strong player,
Oh yeah.
and I felt so good after that, and I've watched back that stream over 100 times. Like, it's amazing. Um, but yeah, and then outside of NASB, for Pokken, actually, let's see if I can do something here. So, okay, first of all, I was a top level player, arguably the best player in the world. I pretty much was the best player for a few months in quarantine. Um, and after every major, there was this big graphic that a specific player used to make, and they're like beautiful graphics you would make after every major for top 8. And pretty much, I have one here.
Oh, that's dope.
So that's when I used to be called Slice and Dice. That's my Libre, and that's top 8.
Wow, that's sick.
Basically, there was just this huge tournament called Quarantine Report that happened, I think it was summer 2020. And I just went crazy through the whole tournament. This was a huge major with a few hundred people. And basically, I got sent to losers pretty early because of a friend of mine who eliminated me to losers pretty early. Clawed my way back to losers finals, won losers finals. Then I realized that the person in Grands is a really good friend of mine from my region, who is the only other person from Canada who entered this tournament. Actually, I think there's a few more, but the only like person that I knew very well from Canada who is like significantly less likely to do well because he has never taken a set off of me offline. He's sitting in Grand's winner's side. I don't want to name drop right now, but he's sitting in Grand's winner's side to fight me. I'm in losers, and literally he upset like 20 people, and it was nuts. And then we meet in Grand, and I 6-0 him. It was, yeah. So that's where this comes from. If you saw the top, you'll see who the names were. But yeah, that was a really good Pokken memory. That was my first really big major tournament win for Pokken. And for Nickelodeon, that moment with Max, I will never forget that. Like, the Twitch VOD on HBox's channel, it disappears after 60 days. But I was like, you know what? I want to remember this for, like, years to come. I'm going to just download this on my computer. I don't want to ever lose this. So it's literally just downloaded on my PC, and I can watch it back whenever I want.
So you actually started to get into the kind of the next topic I wanted to ask you about, which is mental game. You had mentioned going through and feeling really good against Max, and then you mentioned your Pokken tournament, seeing this person sitting in winner side Grands, having to claw through losers all the way back after losing to a friend of yours. How do you keep and you can kind of also talk about mental in Pokken versus NASB, if there's any difference in how it translates and whatnot. How do you keep a good, solid, strong mental when it comes to playing in these big moments, these big tournaments, or even something as simple as a 1st to 5 in front of thousands of people?
1st to 10.
It did become a 1st to 10, yeah.
Yeah. So my mental state is something that I've never really struggled with, which is not common at all. Pretty much the way it's been for me is I'm a very, very confident player. If I think I'm going to beat you, I'm not like super arrogant about it unless I'm like toying with friends and it's just fun and we're just joking around. But if I think that I am better than you, I will play so much better just to like know like, yes, I am beating you. There's no way I'm losing. And then I get a crazy amount of confidence. However, if I don't feel like I'm going to beat you, then I don't play that well. Luckily for Nickelodeon and Pokken, this like never happens anymore. But when I was on like the come up for Nickelodeon, I remember I played against a few players who were like considered to be crazy good at the time. And I thought I had no shot, and naturally I didn't do very well until I got to know the players. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this guy. I can beat this guy easily. And then I do really well with that. Another big thing is though, obviously everybody gets nervous. It doesn't matter if it looks like somebody doesn't get nervous. MK Leo at Grands at Evo a few years ago against Tweak, I think it was 2018, when he made that insane magical comeback. It looks like he wasn't nervous at all. Yes, he was. Everybody gets nervous in big, with a lot of stakes. But for me, when I get nervous, yes, it's a different feeling, but it really doesn't impact my play that much. When people get nervous, it usually tends to impact like their inputs. They maybe do things that they normally wouldn't do. Their hands might get stiff. They may start what do you call it? not shivering, but like when your hands start like
You're getting
going
shaking.
crazy. Why did I forget that word? But their hands will start like shaking. But for me, I get nervous, but it doesn't really impact my play at all, which is not very common. But yeah, I feel like I handle nerves and just preparing myself for matches pretty well. I like to study players that I'm playing against, especially when there's a lot of like stakes. Um, like I remember there was a big tournament a few uh, months ago where I was playing against I knew that I was gonna play against Bodidi in Grands. I watched like an hour worth of like VODs of him, and then I like destroyed him in Grands. Um, but yeah, I feel like I do pretty well in that department, and I hope that uh, it doesn't go downhill from here, and I can keep up my strong mental fortitude. So, yeah.
Do you think that being so prepared in terms of the hours and hours and hours you spend in the lab, do you think that gives you a little bit of confidence as well?
I don't think it's confident. Well, I guess it is. It's confidence in what my character is able to do. Because as I was saying earlier, I like things that are consistent and reliable. And the reason why that's so important to me is like, as you're saying, in these really big and like high stakes scenarios, I'm able to perform these consistent and reliable setups. Whereas, as I was saying earlier, there may be like, oh, look at this crazy combo that works if your opponent does this, 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 and this. It may not work in these large scale tournaments and events. Whereas the labbing tends to give me reassurance and makes me confident that my decision making is gonna turn out in my favor.
Certainly, and being prepared lets you not have to focus on what can my character do. You can dedicate all that mental
Yeah.
energy towards the match. So my final question to you before I open up the floor and you can talk about anything you wish to end it. Is what we talked about the current state of the game and what you would like to see for the game. What kind of things would you like to see maybe for the community going forward? Is there any sort of specific set of tournaments you would like to see, or just more growth or anything? What kind of things would you like to see for the NASB community, and I guess also to an extent the fighting game community at large going forward?
Hmm. I don't really have anything to say for the fighting game community at large besides get better netcode across all games
Yeah.
because it's so important. Like if you're releasing a game in 2022 with bad netcode, it's dead already. But yeah, for NASB, for things like in the community, I think Max and a few other big names in the community have done a really good job promoting the we have a Nickelodeon Grinders server, which is an extremely active server. You can constantly find games in here. You could constantly find people to play against, ask questions to, and we have a lot of fun playing like other games or whatever. But it's a really good resource for people that are getting into the game. I feel like there should be a pro player server because it gets really crowded and it's hard to like talk to like people that you really want to talk to like in the server
Mhm.
because there's just like constantly people like new players talking. So I feel like a pro player server would be nice. Of course, pro player servers can come with a bit of like a I really I guess it's an issue because people are like, well, I'm a top player, I want to be in here too. Or I think I deserve it, I won this tournament with 5 people in it. But yeah, I feel like that's something we could work on in the future. There's the Hidden Temple events. That's great. I think we're gonna be having like 2 a year, which is awesome. Considering I think the next one's gonna be in the summer, I'm definitely gonna be able to go if it's in the summer. I got no school. COVID's hopefully gonna be settled down at least a little bit, and I could probably make it to that. Bunch of tournaments are happening like every day, almost every day. A tournament's happening online. Um, I feel like they could. I don't know. Okay, there's a bit of controversy on if daily tournaments is good or not because players need time to rest, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like daily tournaments, well, yes, it shows that the game is very alive. I feel like it can burn players out. Maybe there should be like three or like two or three tournaments a week, maybe not seven. And like there's certain people that will enter every single tournament every day of the week. Like there's actually people who do that, and that's not good. You need to
Yeah.
have time doing other things. Yes, you can still play the game, but constantly entering tournaments is not the best way to practice. Um, Maybe they could like join like the like tournament series can like join together, maybe get like a bigger pot. It's like maybe I don't know, a Tuesday tournament and a Saturday tournament could combine together so that they only have their tournaments on Saturdays, but they put the prize pot together to get more people to enter on every Saturday. Um, Happening every day, they're not gonna have as many entrants as if like one tournament was getting hyped up for like one specific day. So like if there's a tournament every day, you might get like I don't know, 10 to 15 entrants every day. Whereas if you were to have like two or three tournaments a day or a week, you would get like significantly more entries because people are ready, prepared. They might like clear up their schedules to be ready for these tournaments. So yeah. And when it comes to tournaments that are happening offline that I can go to, other than Hidden Temple in the summer, I'm pretty sure there's a tournament series called GOML, GOML, or Get On My Level. Happens once a year. Got canceled last year, unfortunately. But it happens in Canada. And Max Ketchum, is one of the main TOs. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be Nickelodeon there, considering Max really likes the game. And I've talked to a lot of top players about it, and they're considering going. It's going to be around like October, I think. But that, if for some reason I can't go to Hidden Temple, that tournament will be the first time that I get to see like everybody, which is something I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, I may have missed something, but I think that's all that comes to mind for the community and things that we can work on moving forward.
Yeah, so I think all of what you said is really, really good point. Usually, the way I would end these episodes is doing a quick best of five if you're interested in that at all.
Oh gosh, all right, can
um,
do that.
but I do want to leave the floor a little bit open at the end here. Is there anything else you want to talk about or just tell the people that might be watching? Anything at all?
Um, hmm, I haven't thought about this one. If you're getting into Nickelodeon, definitely join the Grinders server. You could probably find the link to it on like Max's Twitter, or you could probably just look it up. It's probably you could probably just find it on Google. Um, what else? Nigel's cool. Hey, Nigel. Um, but yeah, the community's great. Um, there's a joke where people just say that like NASB doesn't deserve a community this like this amazing. But to be honest, most people are hoping that Nickelodeon is going to turn into like a rivals type of situation because the community is very loyal towards their game. Like they're not going anywhere for a while. And rivals had a pretty slow start, whereas this game had a crazy fast start and then it died down a little bit. Then years later, it just became a really consistent platform fighter that's featured at a bunch of these large scale Smash tournaments. Um, so yeah, I think NASB has a bright future. For now, the competitive scene is okay, but as long as we get proper balance patches, which haven't done the best so far, but as long as we get proper balance patches and the devs are determined to keep this game alive and well, I think we'll do just fine.
Yeah, for sure. I think it has a bright future as well. And last thing, before we jump into a best of five quickly, where can the peeps find you, if anywhere? Do you have any social media that you want to shout out? Of course, I will put any of those links in the description. So if you guys are watching and you want to follow Slice, anything he gives me, I will put in the description for you guys. But yeah, do you want to shout out any of your socials or anything while we're here?
Sure. So I'm always on Twitter. So Twitter is just Slice and Dice 15. It's a Snorlax profile. On Discord, if you ever want to ask me any like questions about Nigel, Nickelodeon, whatever, poke in if you want to. Um, just join the Grinders Cord. You'll find me in there. Feel free to ask me anything. I used to stream on Twitch. I'm gonna get more into it. Probably soon. I don't really know when, but I'm gonna start streaming again pretty regularly. You could find me on Twitch. It's Slice and Dice 1. And yeah, that pretty much does it. Oh yeah, I have made a few YouTube videos. I have a Lincoln and a Nigel guide,
Ooh, that's
but
pretty good.
I haven't had the motivate. Well, I've had the motivation, and I have a few videos recorded, but they're a little bit out of date right now. So I'm probably gonna record a few more videos uh, pretty soon. I'm gonna run a Twitter poll probably like tomorrow on what type of videos I should make. But yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, and yeah, let's get into this best of five, eh?
Yeah. So all of those links will be in the description if you want to follow some sweet Nigel Thornberry gameplay and just
It's gonna be Patrick.
and a Patrick, yeah, which I
It's
I
crazy.
I love Patrick. I'm so happy that he got the love he did in that one patch because
Yeah.
he deserved it.
Dude, his heavy dash attack, dude, that was the biggest game changer. It's active on like what frame 10 now? It used to be like frame 25. It's like, okay, that's a big deal.
I actually, I'll host a server up on the east side. I was looking at
Um,
your Smash GG profile, and I noticed you had actually played a number of sets against Leo, who is a really good Patrick.
oh, Leo, yeah. Okay. Me and Leo were practice partners for 3 months. Still are. We still play all the time. So I had a lot of experience against him. I think on there's, a way that you can there's like a ranking system somewhere. I don't know exactly how to find it. It's by um I think his name is Kreestab, something like
Stab,
that.
yeah.
Kreestab. He has like this rankings on Smash GG for like the heads. See like all. There's like a elo system. You can see all their tournament results. I think in tournament I am like 8-0 against Leo right now, which
Wow.
is pretty funny. It's 8 or 7. My head-to-heads are positive with, I think it's everyone except Lily, but I've only played against Lily once, and it was like 2 months ago, and I played Lincoln. I didn't know who she was. But yeah, I have a lot of experience against and as Patrick now. And for this best of five, I'll mostly play Nigel, but for the last game, I'll play Patrick.
Yeah, sweet. So I have the lobby up. It's on the East US. It should be under the same name.
Unfortunately, I have the face cam and the game on the same monitor.
Yeah, it's okay. I have the
So,
I'm just recording the game now, so all that's
alright,
all
yeah,
good. Um
alright.
so uh oop, you can still hear
Let's
me,
move
right?
this up.
There you go.
All good.
So while we're jumping into this best of five, let's talk about Slice the person. What are some of your other hobbies other than being incredibly good at both Pokken and NASB?
Well, I play a lot of games. Play Pokken, NASB. Oh my God, why are there so many lobbies active right now? Where are you? There you
Is
are.
it I think Thirsty Thursday might be going on?
Oh yeah, you're right. Street Fighter, Brawlhalla, Multiverses soon to come out. Play a bunch of games, but oh my God, wait, what is that Garfield avatar? I need that.
They
Wait, is that
finally
from
added
the?
it. Yeah, they didn't add it when he came out, but if you beat classic mode with him, you get the
Oh,
Garfield
okay.
icon
I'm gonna need
stuff.
to do that. I'm doing that like literally the second this is over. Um, but yeah, other than video games, I play a lot of sports.
Ooh, okay,
Um,
okay.
I really enjoy badminton, soccer, ultimate frisbee's a big weird one. Um, but hold on, let me concentrate a little bit. I'm usually good at playing and talking at the same time. We've never played, by the way. Like, we have never played before.
No, we haven't. I'm very excited.
I have no idea how this dude plays, but played against a few Garfields.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm not a I'm not much of a threat. I tell you that right now.
Alright, let me. Oh, I wanted to show the cool combo. Anyway, yeah. So I play a lot of sports, play a lot of games, try to stay try to stay in shape. Please. I hate this stage. Ruins all my upper combos.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, let's see. If I hit you like one more time, I'll show you the cool, what's it called? Combo I was referring to earlier off of the grab. Alright, let's see if I can hit a grab here. It's hard to grab Garfield sometimes. Presses a lot of buttons. There you go.
Oh, God.
So that is the optimized combo that I was referring to earlier. So instead of the Z drop flick, you just do that. It'll kill at around like 90%. It's like crazy good. Do that. When Nigel's blocking, it's like actually nuts because I can just sit there and wait for you to hit my shield and then I just down tilt. My down tilt gigantic. Speaking of being gigantic, that move.
Yeah, I don't know how that connected, to be honest with you. I'm not
huge, dude. That move is war crime.
Oh. So you play you said badminton and ultimate frisbee?
Soccer, those two. I used to be like really good at running. Used to enter like a bunch of like races. Was quite fast, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's a weird mix. I really like sports, I really like games, and I am pretty good at them.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just do an effort to take every stock with that, just to show how broken it is. My combos are rusty. I've been playing too much Patrick, guys. I'm sorry.
So did you play those sports in like a league or just kind of recreationally?
I used to play soccer in a league. I play ultimate frisbee in a league, and I used to play badminton competitively. Hold on, let me get a grab real quick. Down B? The down B? Alright, you're dead. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. In my high school, when I was in grade 9, so it's a grade 9 to 12 high school, there was a varsity, so all grades, ultimate frisbee team. And I was in grade 9, so I was in the lowest grade, and I was so good, I guess you could say, that I was the captain of the varsity ultimate frisbee team when I was in grade 9.
Oh God, that was
I don't
terrible.
know about that play.
I don't know what that was. I nared off stage and I just died.
Noticed. If you did. Oh. Alright, back to. Oh my God, he's so good.
the gobble or garf bobble as people are calling it. Oh God, I'm dead. So, how did you get the name Slice and Dice? Like, where did that come from? What's the origin story?
I think I was 9. Oh, I was 10. That was misinput. Worked though. So I was 10, and I was gonna go to my first ever Smash 4 tournament with my brother. I played Luigi. No, I played Sheik at the time, actually. And we were registering on Smash GG, and I didn't have a tag. I just went by my real name. And my brother was like, yo, you need a tag, dude. What's it gonna be? Like, I don't know. I actually have no clue. Hold on, let's see if I can hit something here. There's this thing I'm gonna go for here. Not only is it the combo that I was showing you, there's a little bit of extra sauce on top. And if I hit this, I'm gonna lose my mind. But we'll see, we'll see. Oh. I have game audio off, but I go for a flick down there. Anyway, alright. So you said best of 5?
Yeah, so this will be the last game.
I'll see you win.
So
But yeah,
you
so
just kind
he
of
was
came
just
up with
like,
it on the spot.
well, no. He was like, all right, you got like 2 days to come up with a tag. I was like, I don't know. My tag was almost Blizzard. I thought that was cool. I was 10, but thought Blizzard was cool. Um, but I just ended on Slice and Dice. I don't know why. I just thought it was cool, and I was like, he was like, how do you spell it? Slice and Dice? I was like, no, we're gonna make it look cool. It's gonna be Slice and then a capital N and a capital D on the dice. And kind of just stuck with it for a few years until I was like, all right, it's long. Whenever my friends are, all right, let me show you something that I was referring to earlier, right here. I was referring to that. But anyway,
Trophy.
yeah. Um, it kind of just became long. It's like, yo, Slice and Dice. It got a bit long for my friends, so I was like, all right, just call me Slice. After like a year or so of me having that tag, and kind of just stuck with it. All my friends call me Slice. It's pretty much just Slice everywhere now. Except, like, I don't know. Which Hbox had me a Slice on the freaking Twitch set against Max. Speaking of that, actually, I think Hbox is going to be uploading to his YouTube my set against Max. It's going to be really funny.
I did watch some of it, just checking out like the
You
clips
did?
that you had sent me, and like, yeah, you were schmooving on like Max. I've played
Dude,
Mac
I was
before.
playing so hot. I was playing so well. Because me and Max, we were playing friendlies for like 3 hours before that. And like, we were not expecting that to happen. I was like, dude, I'm playing so hot. He's like, I know. I'm getting washed.
Yeah,
Me
man.
and
Like,
Max have had a great relationship since.
so you said like you're you know you're more in like the maybe the community. You know a lot of people just through your experiences. You said you like. Do you know a Hungry Box, or you were just on a stream for
I
that?
didn't know Hunterbox, but I was a big fan of his. Or I just liked him, and now since I did a madness on his stream, and since he plays the same character as me, we've been in contact and we talk every now and then.
That's actually awesome because he's my favorite melee player. I love me some Hbox, and when it comes to melee, oh, I'm dead.
Aw, I tried to up and snipe you, but it went the wrong way.
But that's awesome, and yeah. So thank you for coming on. I had a really good time. Any last minute things you want to say before we wrap up here?
This was fun. I haven't done one of these yet for Nickelodeon, and yeah, I guess keep your eyes out for me at these tournaments. I'm gonna be entering some tournaments in the near future. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll be posting some updates on there. I'll be posting a poll on what videos to record for YouTube, like probably right after this. But yeah, that was fun. Definitely gonna try to put myself out there even more after this, because I guess more people are gonna know who I am. So gonna have to put on a show.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for Slice. I'm very excited to see you, especially hoping we can see you at some, like you said, the in-person offline events, hopefully coming soon if everything goes well. So keep an eye out for Slice. All of his links will be in the description below. And like I said, if you guys have any clips that you want to send me, I will certainly be taking all clips for this NASB 6-month community montage. I'm going to be accepting clips until March 21st to give me a little bit of time to edit the video. So check out Slice. Keep an eye out for him. Thank you, Slice, for doing this. I had a really good time. Very, very interesting conversation. Just hearing the way you explain specifically like the labbing is just so amazing to me. So thank you for letting me pick your brain on that and everything else. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Slice, for being here. Check out the links in the description. And yeah, I will see you all again next time.